Hey sports fans, Harun Rashid from Finisher Creative, and we're talking about how charities can increase donations on social media. So number one's going to sound really strange. Number one, don't ask. This may sound really weird, but actually if you think about the mentality or the mindset of your customers online, they don't like to be advertised at. Social media is all about interacting with your customers, or your audience in this case. So the first thing to do is that if you start to ask for donations continuously and they're kind of like on automated tweets or automated posts, it turns the audience off. They feel like they're being spammed or advertised at. So the first rule of trying to increase your donations is not to actually ask for it, but your aim is to start to engage with your audience and start to kind of educate them about what the issue is or what the problem is that you're trying to solve. Number two is really powerful. It's why. You see, most charities and businesses in general can tell you what they do and how they do it, but very few organizations can tell you why they do something. If we go back to point number one, our audience or our customers are after engagement from us. And you see, nothing will appeal to someone's emotions better than you actually saying why you do something. Particularly as a charity, you're doing a good thing, you're doing good causes, and you are sacrificing things, and you are doing so much hard work for a particular cause. If you say why you're doing something, then it's biologically proven that you are talking to a part of the brain called the limbic system, and that part of the brain is actually responsible for emotion and behavior, i.e. whether to donate or not. So number three is really cool. Once you've got number one and two sorted out, you want to start to develop compelling content. And notice I didn't just say content. You see, I work with a lot of charities, and they have content, but quite a lot of the time it's really dull and it's really boring. So your aim is to actually develop content that is compelling. And what does that mean? It needs to be relevant, it needs to be interesting, and it needs to be valuable. You can check out this other video that we shot as well about how to develop the best kind of content. But in a nutshell, it needs to be relevant, interesting, and valuable. Start to make content that will satisfy the first two criteria, and you will start to see an increase in your donations. So number four, tell stories. So many times charities will share a massive document that is full of just so many facts, figures, statistics, and it's just such a dull, boring document. No one's read it. I bet the guy that wrote it didn't even read it. So the best way that you can actually fulfill the criteria number three of developing compelling content is to tell stories. Stories are such a powerful tool for communicating messages. They've stood the test of time. We love them in books, in movies, in TV. Everybody loves a good story. If you can communicate with your audience a great story, you will start to see increase in your donations. And finally, the last way that you can increase donations for your charity, let's say you got your audience member, okay? They're in the place now where they've gone through these 4 steps and they want to actually donate to your charity. You have to take them to an appropriate landing page on your website, and it has to have clear calls to action like donate now, with like PayPal and other things that will kind of show that it's an appropriate place, that it's a safe and secure place. But a lot of charities and non-profits will neglect this part. They spend so much time on the first 4 steps that they neglect this part of the process. It needs to be simple, it needs to be safe, secure, it needs to be professional looking, and most of all, it needs to be easy. The process of actually someone going to get their card to go and donate to your cause has to be as simple as possible, and it needs to take as least time as possible as well. There shouldn't be too many pages for that person. You need to reduce the amount of clicks, the amount of pages in the process. If you can do it with just 1 click and they have to go to 1 page, then get that done. But if you have all those 5 steps, you will start to see improved processes, much more easier way for your customers to actually donate to you, and you'll start to see an overall increase in your donations.